Okay, so hi guys. Hey guys. Good morning. So today I decided to do a little vlog for you because like some of you know, I've been sharing like my journey with my gut, and some of you've been asking many questions uh about how I found out and what's the test I did, like what were my symptoms and everything. So I just want to like clear this out. So if we're getting started with the symptoms, I had, you guys, for the past 2 to 3 months, I've been feeling like shit, like an absolute garbage. And and when I say garbage, I mean I felt like super weak, mentally, physically. I felt depressed. I felt like my head wasn't there. I just didn't want to do anything to a point where, like, when I first started my prep this year, every time I had to get up in the morning and get my cardio, I was just not able to get out of the bed. It was such a chore for me. I still did it, but it wasn't fun. I didn't have any fun. And as for the like physical part, I was feeling so weak, like physically in the gym, so weak. I had muscle pain. Um, my weights were going down like crazy. And as for my gut, well, I was always having like pain in my stomach. I was always feeling bloated like all the time. And that's how something clicked because I was like, I cannot keep going like this. So at first, I got in contact with a girl I've been following on Instagram for a long time. Her name is Lacey Dunn. She's been working with bodybuilders just like me, with their gut health, with their hormone imbalances. So basically, she recommended that I do some tests to understand what's going on within my gut and my digestive system and my hormones, and just to see like if there's any irregularities, if there's anything going on. Anyway, so I did SIBO test, which is like with the breath, and I also did a GI map, which is like basically like a stool test. And all these results came out, and what happened is I had a bunch of like little bacterial friends within my gut that were living there, more bad than good ones, because you guys know that like you have good bacterias that are in a symbiotic relationship with us, called commensal bacteria that are living and just living there, and they're not doing any harm to us, and we're not doing any harm to them. It's just like they're helping out the host and themselves. So yeah, so I had many bad bacteria within my gut and my small intestine and my large intestine, so that was not a good thing. And I had a bunch of other stuff that were basically just red flags, just basically a bunch of red flags, which led me to understand that I had SIBO, leaky gut, IBS, whatever you want to call it. And let me just explain to you guys the difference between like leaky gut, IBS, and SIBO. So let me explain to you guys what's the difference between all of these, because I know it can be like sometimes difficult to understand. So when we're talking about leaky gut, I know it sounds weird. I know it sounds like kind of scary. But when we talk about the gut being leaky, is like we're referring to the small intestine. So the small intestine is where you absorb most of your nutrients from your food you eat and all the supplements that you might be taking. So when this part of your gut gets what we call leaky, it means that the cells that like separate the content of your bowel from the rest of your body start to basically break down. So instead of having like a selective barrier that only lets the good things pass into our body and bloodstream, like nutrients, other things are allowed to like slip in, such as particles of food that are maybe too big, bacteria, yeast, fungal, name it. So this is a problem because these things should not have access to your body like interiors and might cause a bunch of like immune response, so immune system problems, inflammation, uh, put stress on your liver, because you cannot, like, let's say, metabolize correctly lipids. So a bunch of problems. Then for SIBO. So SIBO, for first and foremost, SIBO calls for small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. So this also happens in the small intestine, just like the leaky gut. What happens is that you have too many like bacteria living in the small intestine. So which where it's overgrowth coming from. So most of your bacteria in your gut should be normally in your large intestine. So remember earlier when I said like that the small intestine is where you absorb most of the nutrients from your food. This is because you should get access to your vitamins, minerals, fats, protein, carbohydrates before the bacteria do, because or else you would like be in a nutrient deficiency. So this works out well when the bacteria stays in the largest intestine, because you have absorbed all the nutrients and all that is left is fiber. So we just changed spots, guys, because I'm in a park and there's kids everywhere, so you might not hear me well. So now let's go down to IBS. IBS is, well, is a condition that affects the large intestine, so that's the first thing. And it can cause like abdominal pain, cramps, bloating, gas, constipation, diarrhea, and is really often occurs like with the leaky gut and the SIBO. So, sorry guys, change spot again. So, even though like they all share symptoms, each of these conditions have a unique underlying mechanism. So obviously they're gonna need different approach. And in all these cases, with Lacey, the dietitian that is following me at the moment, we're gonna use more of a functional approach than a Western medicine approach. Okay, guys, so I just got home and I'm gonna set you up right there. So now that we know what's going on within my gut, like all my digestive problems, we now like set up some pinpoints that we want to focus on. So basically, my diet will consist of low FODMAP, gluten free, dairy free, no refined sugar diet. You heard that right. So that means that I'm not. Does that mean I'm not eating anything? Yeah, that's mostly like it, but there's honestly a lot of things that I can eat and everything. It's just I have to eat in a small amount. So let's say I'm eating rice, I cannot eat more than 190 grams. If I'm eating potatoes, whether it's sweet or white potatoes, it's gonna be nothing more than 75 grams, or fruits or anything like, and it goes on. So there's a certain foods that I can and cannot eat, and there's also a certain amount of these foods that I can eat, but I cannot eat in a big volume. Yeah, so that's mostly like it. So that's gonna be the protocol for going on. So my macros are kind of low. I would say protein is a 160. Obviously it's not high, especially for my weight, but unfortunately at this time my body cannot even metabolize correctly protein. So even if I want to eat 200 grams, I would feel bloated because my body doesn't have enough amount of enzymes to digest all this protein. Then as for carbs, it's around 150 grams, and fats, it's around 50 to 55 grams. So that's pretty low, I know. This diet's gonna be for the next 12 weeks. So the protocol is gonna be on 12 weeks. So there's a list of supplements that Lacey recommended me while I'm doing this whole gut healing protocol. I'm not gonna go into details for these ones because it's really up to anyone. So I don't want to like someone to copy paste my protocol because it might do more harm than good. So a bunch of supplements. Then as for training is gonna be hard. And let me explain you why. I'm gonna have to like slow down on the training. I'm gonna have to slow down on like all the cardio part and everything. So Mostly, I would have to train 3 to 4 times a week at a 75% intensity. So this is because my body currently is under a lot of stress, which creates an immune response because of my current condition. So because of the overgrowth of bacteria in my gut. So to give my body a chance to like improve and get better and just go back to where we were, I have to chill the fuck out. So by chilling means less training, means favor more parasympathetic work, meaning that I'm going to prioritize deep breath, meditation, yoga, nature time, like all the stuff that I'm not used to. I know. I'm honestly, this part for me is going to be the hardest because in my head, if I don't move, I feel useless. So it's gonna be kind of hard, I'm not gonna lie, but we have to do this because I want to get back in shape. I want to get back into bodybuilding. I'm not retiring yet, so I want to keep going. So that's why I need to do all these stuff, and obviously it's gonna help me because if you don't address these symptoms, it can lead to a lot of disastrous like outcomes. So we want to avoid that. So honestly guys, that's pretty much it. There's not much to add, and now I'm getting ready to hit glutes. So obviously light work, so we're gonna do 5 exercise, probably like 3 to 4 sets. Currently I'm just trying to like get back into a healthy state. There's no muscle building strategy at the moment. Is just getting better inside to feel more confident outside, and at one point start back the bulking season and then the cut season to compete. So I just got home from a very good glute workout. I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you have any questions, feel free to like comment below. Feel free to write me in my DMs on Instagram. You guys have a wonderful day. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to like. And I can't wait to keep sharing this little wellness journey with you all. So see you later.